Hallå ja, välkomna tillbaka till det här spelet. Jag funderar på vart min katt tog vägen. Jag har fixat lite te här nu. Det är fortfarande ganska varmt, så att vi får nog låta det stå där ett tag. Ska jag ta en snus istället. Jag har, för er som inte såg förra avsnittet av någon anledning, tycker det är ganska skumt att hoppa rätt in i en sån här serie där det är ganska mycket bygger på att man ska se de tidigare avsnitten. Men för er som inte har sett förra avsnittet så har jag köpt nässelte på en julmarknad utav något UF-företag. Och det teet ska vi testa idag. Men jag tänker att det ska stå och dra här ett tag. Jag vet inte riktigt hur länge. Jag vet inte riktigt hur det funkar. Jag brukar oftast inte använda löste, men det här är löste. Så jag har inte jättebra koll på hur mycket man skulle ha fyllt den jävla bollen med heller. Men vi får väl se, det får väl stå där ett tag. Jag måste ändå svavna. Förra avsnittet i det här spelet, kanske mer intressant. Då var vi var på bio. Vi gick på bio, vi gick på en dejt. Vi gick på bio tillsammans med Kotori. Och nu befinner vi oss på en restaurang, en ramen-restaurang där vi ska äta ramen, tror jag. Jag vet inte om vi ska äta något annat kanske. Men vi är på en ramen-restaurang i alla fall. Och tydligen var det gott, för att gratis är alltid gott. Och det var oj som bjöd, så it was delicious. It was delicious. Thanks for the treat, Oi-kun. Oi. Kotori said with satisfaction while patting her stomach. You're welcome. It made our date feel just a little less grandiose, but if it made her happy, I'm fine with it. Besides, it was considerably cheaper. When I introduced Kotori to Masatsugu's dad, he gave us such a massive discount that we almost ate for free. Det är bara en symbolisk summa. Tonkotsu ramen was so good. I might want to eat it again. We can come anytime. Mabu's dad will probably give us discounts again. Kotori is my girlfriend. And they're really cute, so she received a warm welcome. He's frivolous like a kid, but he's a nice guy. With full and satisfied stomachs, we wandered through Windy. There were a lot of different kinds of shops. Most were aimed at women, since they sold clothing, bags or accessories. För killar behöver inte kläder, väskor eller accessoarer. Kanske inte lika stort behov utav nej, det var inget. There were also tableware and miscellaneous stores, a bookstore, a stationery shop and even a dentist. Usually, I have no interest or any reason to go to places like this. Varför är det så mycket tandläkare överallt? Det är samma sak i Dragon Fable också, då pratar de om tandläkare just nu. Det verkar vara en grej här. Att nu i november så spelar jag mycket spel som har tandläkare i sig. Av någon anledning. But today is different. Hej Morgan, du får vara försiktig, det är varmt te här. Luktar det intressant? Det kanske luktar spännande, men det är varmt, så du får vara försiktig. Say, Kotori, those clothes. Hello, Kotori. I'm trying to talk to you. Moo. Moo. For some reason, Kotori frowned as she watched another couple passing by. Bara för att de håller händerna, eller vadå? What's with the gloomy face? Nothing really. Was she irritated by their clinginess? No, we are on a date too. Hey, Oikun, come here for a second. Okay. I lined up next to her as she requested. Men om det här teet börjar bli klart nu. Det börjar ju lukta lite. I lined up next to her as she requested and Kotori grabbed my hand. And then she started pushing the wheel of her wheelchair with her other hand. Hey. Come on, let's go. So she just wanted to hold hands. Normal couples hold hands or link arms. Some even hold their hands around their waist and stick really close. Så den tycker jag är lite så här halv. Hold hands around their waist, den tycker jag är lite så här halvskum. Det känns bara. Det är bara liksom så här. Känns klumpigt att gå runt så. It's not that I didn't feel a little jealous when I was looking at them, but... Yo-ho! Yo-ho! While we were holding hands and walking like this, the people around us were staring with surprised expressions. I had a similar expression. Moving the wheelchair with one hand looked, how should I put it, rather tough on her. Får skaffa ett koppel. Stop. What? What? Aren't you out of breath? Don't push yourself. I'm not. I'm going to school and back all the time, so this much is nothing. Sure. Compared to the average girl, Coulter is certainly quite strong. Enough to go up the gentle sloping, the windmill hill by herself. However, I think moving the wheelchair with one hand is too much. It looks exhausting, so stop it. I told her as I let go of her hand. But I can't see your face when you're behind me. Even though we finally went out on a date. It hurt to see Coulter's feeling so downhearted. Then we'll walk side by side. This should be fine, right? Yeah. Jag tror inte hon ska gå runt och titta på honom heller. När de är ute och går liksom så här. Och hon kanske ska titta fram och titta vart hon går. Istället för liksom stå vänster. Coulter nodded. Although she wasn't fully satisfied. I thought it must have been difficult for Coulter to push herself. But I might have been too considerate in the end. It's definitely better to see her face. If you'll get tired, tell me right away, okay? Don't overdo it. Yeah, I understand. Jeez, you're annoying. We continued to walk around Windy, aimlessly side by side. It's not that there was nowhere we wanted to go, but we weren't in a hurry. We still had plenty of time. Oh, this dress is nice. There was a light blue one-piece dress displayed at the shop window. That color looked just like the sky, so I thought it would suit Coulter. I peeked at Coulter and she was also absent-mindedly looking at the same dress. Do you like it? Huh? No, not really. I'm just looking. I think it would suit you. I compared the dress with Coulter's reflection in the shop window. Yeah, it would certainly suit her. I wonder, would it really suit me? I think it would suit you. It would suit... Ja, den hade passat dig. Jag tror att den skulle passa henne. Jag tror den kommer passa dig. Kommer den passa mig? Ja, den kommer passa dig. Even though she asked in a half-convinced way, she didn't exactly look doubtful. Maybe try it on. Huh? No, it's troublesome. And it will be a bother for the shopkeepers. Det låter som extremt omständigt att faktiskt testa kläder för henne, måste jag säga. I peeked inside the store. A female shop assistant met my gaze and smiled at me. Are you single? Are you looking for something? Come here, party boy. This one-piece dress. Could we try... No, we aren't looking for anything. Come on, let's go. Coulter called out to me and quickly moved away. Oh, hey, wait. With painful reluctance, I left the dress and chased off the coterie. The shop assistant who greeted me bowed with a smile as she saw me off. Oh, my heart is pounding. Why did you run away? Because I thought it would be a bother for sure. If that was the case, you would have said something, right? Whatever. When it comes to clothes, I'll get One-chan to buy them for me. You didn't like that dress? It's not that, but... Enough already, let's go. You don't say yes to the dress for reasons like that. Crap. Coteries lost all of her enthusiasm. We completed our initial objective, watching a movie. With this kind of mood, it wouldn't be surprising if Coterie suggested to go home already. What do you want to do now? It seems there's an arcade around here, but we checked the floor guide, looking for something interesting. I'm a little tired. I want to rest somewhere. I was relieved that, despite her drop in enthusiasm, she didn't say that she wanted to go home. I want to rest at home. No! No! Well then, shall we check out that place? That place? Actually, there was one more place I wanted to check out today. The cafe that you wanted to visit before. Coulter tilted her head. You know, the place you said that has a delicious millefeuille. Taking the hint, Coulter gasped. Cafe flags! Cafe flags! When am I ever gonna be like this? A cafe... Go to Cafe Flags. This was one entry on Coulter's to-do list from before. According to Himari, they serve delicious sweets produced by a famous pastry shop. Men gjorde de inte allting på den här listan? Jag har för mig de gjorde allting förutom Fly to the high passage of clouds. Jag tror det här teet är klart nu. Nu har det stått 10 minuter. Nu borde det ju nästan vara klart, va? Ska vi ta en lukt? Okej. Jag tror att jag är redo på att testa. Jag måste bara göra mig av med den här. Jag skulle ha haft någonting att lägga den här bollen i. Vi gör så här. Jag ska göra någon slags temporär liten tehållare här. Jag tar den här servetten och lägger på den där. Sen så gör man så här. Sen lyfter man på denna. Och sen försöker man droppa så lite vatten som möjligt. Det här är en väldigt visuell upplevelse som jag försöker beskriva med ord. Så, lägger jag den där. Sen får den bara ligga där. Tills jag har spelat klart så jag kan gå och lämna den i köket. Okej, jag är redo på att testa rättighet. Nu är vi redo här. Nu har det nog svalnat också ganska mycket. Ja, men det var ju gott. Jag vet inte fan. Jag vet inte riktigt vad det smakar, men according to Himari, they serve delicious sweets produced by a famous pastry shop. Det skulle vara nässelte. Jag tror det var med smak av jag vet inte. Det var grönt te, 50% nässlor, 50% grönt te. Med smak av vad då? Äpple tror jag. Jag vet inte. Det smakar inte så mycket äpple. Jag får ta en till sipp här. Vänta lite. Gör så där då. Vänta va? Gick jag vidare i spelet här nu utan att läsa vad som stod? Nej, det gjorde jag inte. Jag var helt fokuserad på teet. Men vi tar en klunk till av det här teet ska vi se. Ja. Back then, Coulter didn't know that it was targeted at couples and a popular date spot. In the end, she crossed out that entry, completely blacking it out. Cafe Flags happens to be at Windy. But isn't that place Don't worry, I got plenty of money. When you're with me, you'll never... Nu är du med mig, Coulter. Du kommer aldrig mer behöva oroa över pengar igen. Don't worry, I got plenty of money. Lunch was very cheap after all. So, let's go, Coulter. Yeah. Oj, hej katt. Hej katt. Hej katt. Hej katt. Luktar det gott? Ja, luktar det gott? Luktar det intressant här? Luktar det intressant, va? Ja. Outside Cafe Flags, a line had formed. Men det är varmt, Morgan, så du får vara försiktig. Du får lukta, men du behöver inte göra mer än så. As expected from a popular place, the people waiting were primarily young couples, though a few older ladies hunched over with shopping bags were mixed in too. What a crowd. That means the food must be really good. Eller att restaurangen är urkass och har väntetider som är jättelånga. We're getting in line. Of course. We waited about 30 minutes. Led in by the cafe staff, we finally stepped inside. When we entered, the waiter took away one of the chairs at the table and led Coulter there. So, it's this kind of cafe. Kotori muttered as she looked at the refined interior design. I also looked around with curiosity. We opened our menus. Whoa, so expensive. The cheapest cakes were around 800 yen. Det är ju inte ens särskilt dyrt. Men okej. Vad är det? Det är väl typ runt 50 kronor. 50-60 kronor. Tror jag. Det låter inte så där jättefarligt. The tea was about the same, with more expensive ones exceeding 1000 yen a cup. And their highly recommended milieu fouilleux was 1300 yen for a small slice. Nu är det typ svenska priser. There's no doubt that the food is exceptionally good. No, it would be better. No, it better be, or I'll be pissed. With such unrest tightening my chest, I asked Kotori, "What do you want?" "What do you want from me?" Milfuel and a Darjeeling tea." "I'll have milfuel too, and an iced tea." We called a waiter and placed an order. We can finally try the famed milfuel. Yeah, I can't wait. Still in low spirits. Overthinking everything has surely sent her thoughts down a negative spiral. Sorry about earlier. Huh? What are you apologizing for? I made you think about unpleasant things, right? No, right? No. No, it's not that. It's not your fault, Oikun. It's just... Kotori stopped talking mid-sentence. I didn't say anything and waited for her to start talking. Kotori timidly looked up at me. Is the date with me fun? Let me take a sip of my tea and think that over. Fun? What is she saying all of a sudden? Do you think I'm having fun? Of course not. Kotori gave me a fluttering glance from the opposite side of the table. Because of me, we're really standing out, right? Jag vet inte. Hennes rullstol ser ut som en stol just nu. Och dessutom så är den extremt cool. Så om ni stand out så stand out in a good way. Tror jag. Hon har liksom den högmoderna, superhäftiga rullstolen. Because of me, she said and looked around, meeting the glances of other customers. When we entered here, everyone was looking at us too. Does that sort of thing bother you? Since I'm like this, I'm sure I also make you think about unpleasant things when we're together. Besides, I'm dressed like this and we can't even hold hands. Kotori gradually sank into herself. I told you, your clothes are cute. It wasn't just flattery, you know. Is that so? You like them, right? Kotori nodded deeply. That's because Ne-chan picked them for me. As expected from Hibari-san, she knows what would suit Kotori. When I thought that, I felt a little jealous though. I think those clothes from earlier would suit you too. It seems they are on your mind too. But wouldn't you think it's strange for a girl like me to dress up? No, I wouldn't think so. Rather, it's weirder not to dress up. Is that so? You just said that we're standing out because of you, right? But I don't think it's because of the wheelchair, really. Huh? You're cute. That's why everyone's looking. No, that's not... You're always saying you're a beautiful girl yourself, though. Well, yeah, but... So she can admit that. Kotori is cute. She's almost impossibly beautiful. That's why everyone is stealing glances at her. And if there are any inquisitive gazes, it's because they're wondering how such a beautiful girl ended up in a wheelchair. Of course, it may be a bit uncomfortable for her, but I don't think it's something to get depressed about. You're cute, Kotori. So much that everyone turns to look at you. I'm delighted to be on a date with a girl like you, so stop making that face. Aoi-kun. Kotori smiled a little. That's more like it. You're even cute when you're smiling. After all, you're a self-proclaimed cool bitch. Even though I told you to forget it, you still remember? Alltså vid det här laget så var det typ... Alltså in-game så var det typ 2 år sedan. 1 år sedan i alla fall. Det här spelet har utspelat sig över en extremt lång tid. Oh, there's no way I could forget something that intense. When I recalled it, I couldn't help but laugh. She was sitting straight with an aloof, confident smile, brushed up her hair with a... She was sitting straight with an aloof, confident smile, brushed up her hair with a... and called herself Cool Biatch. When she fumbled while brimming with confidence, it was an indescribable experience. Oh, you meanie. Coterie grumbling like made her even cuter. I felt like teasing her a bit more, but I restrained myself for now. Instead, I held my hand out across the table. Coterie realized my intentions and timidly put her hand in mine. We can always hold hands when we're not walking. But nobody besides us can have a date in a glider soaring in the sky, right? Det tror jag nog att de kan, men ja. I'm sure other couples... I'm sure... Nu fick jag nog random event här i RuneScape. I'm sure other couples who were on a date at Windy today would be jealous. Coterie looked at me excitedly. Yeah, that's right. She nodded, slightly embarrassed. Ska det stå slightly eller sightly? So, smile for me. Your smiling face is the cutest sight ever. Thank you, Oikun. When Coterie giggled shyly, the waiter brought us the tea and cakes. Flustered, Coterie drew her hand back. The waiter saw that and smiled gently. The waiter placed the plates with cakes on the table. Är det en small slice? Det känns som att den där är ganska stor. Coterie's eyes sparkled when she saw the millefleur. Coterie, watch out. You almost started drooling after you saw that cake. Coterie wiped her mouth hurriedly. Slurp! But just look at this. This millefleur. Of course, I'm looking at it. I have the same thing in front of me. Don't you feel its divine aura? Just by looking I can tell it will be delicious for sure. Coterie muttered that she expected nothing less from a world-famous pastry shop as she examined the millefleur from every angle. Strawberries and deeply colored custard were sandwiched between countless layers of puff pastry, and on top of it there was fresh cream with a large strawberry. Over the strawberry was a transparent gelatinous sauce. Illuminated by the cafe's lights, it glittered like a jewel. It's only natural that Coterie declared it would be delicious before even tasting it. I knew it. When you're angry or depressed, nothing works better than sweets. I can't say I don't somewhat disagree. What do you mean? In any case, I'm glad you seem to have cheered up. Coterie nodded shyly. Well, this place can make you feel quite bashful, I guess. Come on, let's eat. Coterie quickly nodded in agreement. Skumt det känns att äta en tårta med kniv och gaffel. Well then. Dessutom den där gaffeln behöver ju hjälp. Coterie gripped her knife and fork while trembling hands and brought them to the millefleur. Crunch. The knife cutting into the puff pastry made a delightful sound. Coterie took a slice of the pastry with strawberries and cream onto her fork and carefully brought it to her lips. Delicious! Coterie brought her hand to her cheek and raised her voice without thinking. When the waiter saw this, he smiled and nodded, not surprised by that reaction. Okay. Oh, it's so sweet and sour. It's rich and profound flavor fills my mouth. This is the taste of happiness. Looks like it's so delicious that Coterie even started talking in a weird way. Let's see. Chomp, 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 chomp. Munch, munch. Man, this really is good. Vänta, hur ser bilden ut nu? Hon välter den. At first I felt the sourness and aromatic sweetness of the strawberries. However, those were wrapped up with the mild sweetness of the cream, and its texture was accented by the crispiness of the puff pastry. Different textures and different levels of sweetness were in perfect harmony, creating a luxurious, refined composition. Without exaggerating, I can say that this is the best cake I've ever eaten. This is the kind of cake you'd eat only on special occasions like birthdays or Christmas. The very concept of cake that I've had so far was smashed by this taste. No, by this experience. Oh, this is bliss. Kotori muttered while eating the cake, happy from the bottom of her heart. The fact it was more effective than me cheering her up was slightly frustrating though. Ska han bli arg istället? After all, my strategy of abating Kotori's anger with Häagen-Dazs was correct. Oh. This tea is also amazing. I think I'm in heaven. Kotori said her impressions ecstatically, and reached under the wheelchair and rummaged about. What she pulled out was Isuka-san's navigation log. You're always carrying it around with you. But it's important to me. This wheelchair experienced much rougher handling than an average wheelchair. Dashing through the rain at full speed, fighting the winds on hill roads, falling over sometimes, moving through the beach covered in sand. Because of that, the frame was even bent and needed repairs the other day. The log, which had been there the whole time, was pretty worn out too. Kotori opened it like an old veteran. She went to the page with the to-do list. She marked the completely blacked out entry, where Go to Cafe Flags was once written, as completed. Another entry completed. This entry was supposed to be erased, but she's quite persistent. Kotori gazed at the page with satisfaction, then turned her gaze towards the cake. And then she looked at me, fixedly. Munch. Yes, this might be the peak of my life. Huh? What is it? What did you say? I have such a kind and cool boyfriend, reliable friends, and soon my dreams of flying will come true. So this is what they call getting a real life. Well, get a life, would ya? What do you mean? It's when you stop no-lifing. Yeah, I definitely have a real life now. Stop no-lifing. As she said that, Kotori impaled a giant strawberry on her fork. This millefeuille is so delicious because you're here with me. I'm sure of it. Jag måste nästan söka på exakt vad en millefeuille är för något. För att... Jaha, Napoleon-bakelse. Ja, men då så. Det vet man ju vad det är för någonting. Men ja, jag visste inte att det hette så på, antar engelska. Eller engelska, förmodligen franska kanske. Ja. Engelska, ja. Jag tror att jag i mitt huvud fick This millefeuille is so delicious because you're here with me, Kotori. Aoi-kun, yes. I'm sure of it. She muttered very seriously for some reason, and then stuffed her cheeks with the strawberry. As usual, her train of thought was a little strange. Maybe that's her way of expressing happiness. Whether feeling down or feeling great, my girlfriend is unique. Then only one thing remains. Kotori looked up at me questioningly. I pointed at the topmost entry on the list. Cross the passage of clouds. Men det var väl det enda som var kvar förut, jag vet inte. The entry left by Isuka-san. Kotori stared at the entry while restlessly eating her millefeuille. I'm sure this dream will soon come true, too. A morning glory is supposed to appear by the end of summer. That is very soon. You will fulfill it, carried by everyone's hopes and dreams. Not necessarily. Huh? I was only chosen as the pilot because there was no one else. I mean, because... No, det var typ det han sa. Because there was no one else suitable. But that might change when tomorrow comes. With a small delay, Kotori realized what I wanted to say. No, impossible. I'm only just starting to practice. I was like this last year too, but I did fly. When I think about it now, it was absurd. It was actually pretty dangerous. Oikun, don't you want to try it? Flying over the morning glory? I want to fly. I really, really want to. It was within our reach, and yet we didn't get there. I will never forget that vexing feeling from last year. Then you should be the pilot, Oikun. There's no problem here. Kotori said as calmly as she could and took another bite of milfjö. You said something weird and I got all excited. As Kotori said this, her face turned red like the strawberry. Like the strawberry in my eyes. Thanks for the food. You're really fine with this? Yeah, it's okay. I'll pay. Kotori insisted. I'm always relying on you, Oikun. This is far from enough, but I want to do something for you too. Then I'll accept your treat without hesitation. Det verkar som att du tvekade nyss dock. Kotori took care of the cafe flag check. But there was only the pastries and tea between the two of us. The check was a pretty sizable amount. Even so, the milfjö was delicious. As I said this, Kotori's mouth seemed to recall the taste of the milfjö, and her resistance, her eyes were shining brightly. It was incredibly delicious. It's only natural this place is so popular. I'll have to tell Hibarini about it later. Kotori spoke with wild excitement. She regained all her vigor. Well then, what do you want to do now? Shall we get out of Windy and go somewhere a little quieter? If you know... Kotori was looking at the floor guide, deep in thought. It seemed like she would need a while. The roof here is made out of glass, and the bright sunlight was pouring from the sky. While Kotori was concentrating, I peeked up at the blue sky. Looking at this beautiful weather makes me want to go flying. In that cloud should be a good thermal... When I was thinking about this, I suddenly realized Kotori was looking at me. What? Nothing. It's just that you looked kinda cool. When you're looking up at the sky like this, you look at your best, I think. My best? You haven't seen my best. I see. Thanks. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's test. Yeah, I'll do my best. Everyone has worked so hard for me. Kotori was very enthusiastic about it. I patted her head gently. So, have you decided where you want to go? Oh yeah, she said and looked back at the floor guide. Let's see. I'd like to go check out the game center, but before that... Kotori hesitated, like she had something difficult to say. I think I'd like to try on that blue dress from before after all. Embarrassed, she looked away the moment she said this. I quickly got behind her and started pushing her wheelchair. It will certainly suit you. Oh, calm down. We don't have to rush. Come on, let's go, Kotori. Otherwise the dress will disappear. Before Kotori could change her mind, I rushed to the store. Hallå! Slänger upp dörren liksom, verkligen. Vi måste testa den där fort som fan. Jaha, är dagen slut nu? Welcome home! You were on a date, right? Okej, vi ska ta avsluta nu. Jag får tacka så mycket för att ni har tittat, så hörs vi nästa gång. Och tills dess så får ni ha det bra. Så hörs vi som sagt då. Tack för att ni har kollat på det här avsnittet av If My Heart Had Wings. Hej då!